start with your beginning position, sinking into the right and stepping out to the left, and back onto your heels, onto the balls of your feet. I'll just do it sideways for you for a moment. Sinking and straightening. Sinking and straightening. Slight heel release, slight toe release. Now once you've got that lower body part, then just start to look for the engagement through your hands. And we'll come through one more time. And so I'm just going to be here with you as we come across onto the right leg and up with that left foot and in. The next one is bird flaps its wings. Here we go. Bringing your palms together, gathering that energy ball and release. That little flick happen with your fingers. Release. You can see the coming in is slower and then around once, two with the wrist circles, and then come in again. And of course what I'm doing is I'm sinking down onto the balls of my feet, one release, and my heels are coming up a bit, two release, and then the third time around the back of the circle over the top, and a second time, and in. One more time, release, just letting all that energy flow out, gather again, release, and then the third time, around and around. You can see it's really from the wrists. There's hardly any lower body movement or lower arm movement with that at all. And wait for the sink. And then our first forward stepping, just get back a bit so you can make sure you see my feet. And so here we go with the left foot coming forward and around the platter. So once you get the reminder of how your feet want to go, and then getting this connection of how it flattens and arches your lower back, then come up to your hands and just feel that kind of engagement through the heels of your hands as you go forward over the front foot, and then just drawing back, just trailing with your fingers as you come back. Now let's just see if you can start to get the feeling of pacing, just kind of dropping into about the same pace as I'm going. We'll do one more time around. And back. And then we go into the second side, so sink into your right leg, left leg, right foot comes forward. And so you go over top of the right leg now. Just find the engagement again. There's so much of our tendency to move into something through what we know, which will of course be our habits, which will be entrained with our habits of going a little bit ahead of ourselves, of stumbling into the next moment, and to just let yourself drop into the movement a little bit, so that it feels like it's working on you rather than you working on it. Find the little hidden pieces of sensation in the movement. Notice how much your breath wants to participate. We'll come around one more time. and back. And the next one is the bass drum. So once again, sink into your right foot, left foot comes forward. You can see my hands are just slightly angled upward and engaged energy through the field between the two hands. Fingers toward the ceiling, fingers toward the floor. I'm just going to turn again so you can see this. This will be 8. One more time through. Always before you step back, kind of making sure your lower back is flattened a bit so that you're not fighting against yourself as you draw back in. Then stepping out with the right foot. And as the energy starts to move, the most important areas to connect with are, of course, your feet. Just really making sure you've got the contact there, and your lower belly. Just really feel how the movement can come from there. We'll do 2 more. And forward and back. Just going to see if this is useful. Give us a little bit of light here.
Might be nice.
Yeah. All right, so the next one is our daughters. So the first one is the daughter in the mountaintop. So we open up, step out with the left foot, and left hand is on the inside as you come in and draw down. Now we really want you to get a chance this time through to see what that drawing down looks like. So here we go. And down and open. Gathering the energy way out here, drawing it in and across, drawing down and opening. Do 2 more. And back. And sinking again to the left foot, right comes forward. Left hand still on the inside. So as we've started to get all the bits and pieces of feet and lower back and hand engagement, there comes a certain point where you might be able to find yourself dropping into just the feel of yourself as an organism. And just how you move through space. How you gather that sense of charge around you. How you feel the effects through the air around you as you move. One more time. And back. And then daughter in the valley. So hands come up, sink into that right leg, left comes forward, and down, gather that nerf ball, and up, fingers toward the ceiling. So this has got that real sense of like a fountain of energy that just kind of comes up and then releases. And gradually you're going to feel the movements working into areas that weren't feeling so affected before. Just wherever you feel it awakening or working into little grinchy places in your body, just give yourself a chance to just gently let them engage. And one more time. And back. And then the second time, dropping to your left, your right foot comes forward, and down, gather, up, and release. So that every part of your hand and arm movement has an engagement with that sense of heavy air, with that sense of energetic awakening. And the more you just go just minutely slower, the more you just drop into the pace of how I'm going, you'll find that you just feel a little bit more of that charge movement running through your hands, through your body. A little bit more of intentionality. Maybe two more. And one more time around. And back. Good. Now we come to carry the ball to the side. So I'll just come across just a little bit to the side. Have some room to move. Here's where we do all those pieces I was talking about with the taffy that we were doing. So first of all, we're going to wind up, sink into the right, step across. And here comes our Nerf ball, round in a circle. You can see it's a fairly minimal circle. I'm really not going out any further than my shoulders, the edges of my shoulders. It's just, and so the third time I come across, and then I come up and in. Just the briefest, this one has just the slightest for a moment stopping, and then you sink again, wind up, step across to the left. The third time, carry that Nerf ball up, and slowly your back leg comes up and in. And one more time across, sink and wind up. And up and in. And just just the slightest hint of stillness here, and then you start going the other direction. So wind up across to the left. Step out. And just feel as your hand comes across how that left hand is a little more substantial here. It just has a little bit more engagement. Feel how the movement can work your lower back and pelvis. Pause, sink, and wind up. Cross to the right. And one more time. Feel that engagement as it draws you up. And pause, and one more time across. Wind up to the left, sink off to the right. Quite a complex movement that's happening in your lower back and pelvis with this one. Instructors for years kind of try to describe that it feels a little bit like a little bit of an infinity symbol that's kind of working across your pelvis as you go across with this particular sidestepping motion. Now we go back to forward and back stepping. So the first one is coming back to our review two movements. So it's the push-pull. So here we go, sinking into the right, and hands come up in front of you, and out, and across. And I want to just make sure you get the feel of how this moves with your hands here, how the turning is so much a part of the movement, so that it never gets stuck at either end. And that back hand, that right hand in this case, has got just a little bit more substantiveness to it. One more after this. So this is number 8. We come back, and here we come through one more time. And stepping back. And we'll try the second side. And to the left, hands come up. And now your left hand has got a little bit more substance to it. Here's number 8. And one more. And back. And then pulling in the energy. So once again, we sink into our right as our hands come up. Just sitting about here in front of your chest, and then stepping forward over top of the right foot with your circle, and then back. And then finding those fingertips through the heavy air going forward, drawing back to the farthest star as you come back. One more time around. And then sinking into the left. This time you reverse the circle. You're going out over top of the right leg. Flowing from the center, with softness and continuity. Yinning and yanging across the soles of your feet. Circularity, just dropping into the movement that wants to happen. Feeling those fingertips as you go out, so that you're really awakening an engagement with the world from within the center of yourself. Do 2 more. And around 1 more time. And back. Good. Now we come to that taffy. So here we go. You're winding up, so you sweep across that left hand, step across to the left. Open up and anchor with that right hand and close. Sweep with the right, step across to the right, anchor with that left hand through the heel of your hand and close. Sinking, winding up, across to the left and close. Going across the left or the right, so winding up and across and close. And 1 more time, sinking, sweeping and winding up, across and anchor with that back hand and close. And sweeping as you wind up, stepping out and close. Just like that. And then finally our standing pose. So just take that left heel and rest it onto the ankle of the right. Your left hand comes on the inside. And then you just really start building from the bottom, like feel the sole of your foot. How much do you know it's there now with all that moving, that yinning and yanging back and forth across it. And the ball of the left foot. Just really give yourself a chance to feel how that provides a connection, locates your body in space through the floor. And then just noticing how that provides a connection through your legs into your pelvis. And as you notice your pelvis more, you might notice that it responds by doing little micro adjustments, things you might not have noticed you were holding in it. And then just coming up through your spine and torso, and just letting your chin just tuck in a little bit, and just notice what that does if you just let your eyesight angle down just a little bit, so that you're just gazing without a fixed gaze through those slightly relaxed open fingers. And then finally bringing your attention down into the Danchen. It's like you just cycle up the back of your body, and now as you come down the front, you go down and into the center. Wherever into that Danchen lower abdomen area draws your awakening attention in this moment. And then just take a chance to feel what it's like to be just in this place, to see if you can start to access the wisdom that has made this particular positioning, not just in this particular approach, but throughout these approaches, in Qigong and other Tai Chi approaches, that there's something about this which just helps to organize us. And then just closing and bowing to the practice, to the organizing forces in the world which it connects us to, so that we might just feel how now we are a little bit more in our place, both within ourselves and within the world.